StockMinter.com studios here in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your StockMinter, Brian Johnson. Entering the new week, we went nowhere. So, a couple orders of business. Number one, if you like the new intro, I love the new intro. It's great. I sang her praises in my video yesterday, and I'll tell you a little bit about her again today. Her name is Bridget. If that intro is something that you guys can benefit from either on your own website or within office presentations, or geez, the number of uses is limitless when it comes to animation type stuff on the web. Anyway, I've got her email or her address to her website posted in the information underneath the today's video. And this is it. This is her website, Bridget Latanzio. I guess that's how it is. And I still got to make sure, Bridge, that's how you pronounce your last name. Bridget Latanzio. Anyway, this is her website. Go visit her. Send her an email. Look at her portfolio and see all the work that she's done. She does a lot of the DVD menus and stuff for all kinds of major type games and DVDs. I mean, she's not small time. She does a lot of really good stuff. So you guys need to check her out, see what she's done. If you can use this kind of talent, at least nothing else, just bookmark it and keep it handy for one of these days when you do need it. I think you'd find it'll be of great use down the road. She does a very good job. She did a fantastic job. It's very professional, great communication, kept in contact with me throughout the entire project to let me know where she was at, send me mock-ups. We talked about what I'd like to see, and she just kind of ran with it. Really, I didn't give her a whole lot of direction. She just ran with it and did a fantastic job. So if you're not all that creative but would like something like this done, she's perfect. She's exactly the person you want to talk to. All right. The other thing is Elliott Wave webinar Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. For all of you that can join us, please show up. It's going to be a great time. You guys are going to enjoy it. It's going to be packed full of really good information. If you don't understand anything, zero about Elliott Wave, this will benefit you a lot. If you have a good, decent feel, intermediate, if you will, feel for Elliott Wave, there's a lot of other deeper things I'm going to go into as well. But I'm going to take it step by step so that everybody can follow along. Everybody has a good idea of what's happening. And this will give you a great idea of what my mentoring's like too. It'll be very, very similar to that. You'll see my teaching style and what I go over and how I cover things and kind of how things roll within the mentoring as well. It'll be the same type of concept, same thing. So it's Thursday night, this Thursday, March 31st, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Sign up, click on the little ad on any one of my pages on my website. And into the markets, we went nowhere. We had a little bit of a dive at the very, very end of the day, which got us back below around this 20-period moving average. But, overall, it wasn't like panic was setting in for me at all. Just seems like people were, moving a little bit at the end of the day. But overall, really nowhere. Everything, down ever so slightly. Dow down 22 points or so by the time it was all over with. Just really not a whole lot to talk about today. As we get into what could be another consolidation. Yes, this does look like a potential topping candle, but it's just nothing to me right now. We're just back into these overhead areas, which I had been talking to you guys about this weekend, and you can see these last few candles that have gone up and just kind of gone nowhere end up being high base formations, which lead to higher prices. That's what we saw all along here, so we need to be very, very cautious of that. We are in a very, very neutral stage. I can count this Elliott Wave out one of a million different ways, and there's really no right or wrong answer at this point in time. I just want to caution you guys again to be very, very cautious about where you decide to get in. We didn't get any entries today. We didn't break above this level up here. We didn't break below these levels down here. So there's really no reason to be looking for longs or shorts today within the indices. There's been some moves in individual stocks, but nothing within the indices. NASDAQ, all of these showing the same thing. This little red candle at the very, very end of the day. Don't panic about that. That's really a nothing candle right yet. That move was really nothing at the end of the day. It didn't make me one way or the other going into tomorrow because we didn't break anything. It just kind of wandered around sideways. Taking a look at the NASDAQ daily, You can see where we got back below this 50-day moving average. There's actually some other stuff going on up here. For those of you, something else, the newsletter. For those of you that like the daily videos, you are going to love the newsletter. It's packed full of more information. Those videos probably get between 13 and 20 minutes long. They have way more lines drawn in. I've got lots of trend lines drawn in, telling people exactly where we're at and where I think we're going, entries, exits, those type of things. A lot more concise and precise within the newsletter subscriptions. Plus, a lot of times they get the intraday updates along with individual stock plays to watch all week long. I give you guys day trade entries, and I give you swing trading entries for those that like to hold for more than just an hour or two, that want to hold for a day or two or a week or 2 weeks. I give those type of entries as well. It's just a much more in-depth look. But here you can, from the daily perspective, the daily video perspective, we're back below this 50-day moving average, and we're coming back into this 20. So now we're trapped once again between the 20 and the 50, waiting for a break one way or the other. You can also see on the weekly, we just started, won't talk about the weeklies on a Monday, SPX 60-minute coming back into some of these lower levels. That big, what's not a big, a red candle at the very end of the day. It's just, there's nothing here to be too concerned about. Same type concept, just not below these levels here and not above these levels here. It's really pretty clear. And right now, all this looks like is, just simply a pullback at this point, and a bullish pullback at this point until otherwise proven. So no real panic once again for me setting in at the end of the day. There just wasn't enough information there to really make me more bearish or whatever, as the case might be. Okay, so here we have what could be construed as, a bearish engulfing pattern. Sure, you bet. We can look at these candles in one of a number of different ways. You're just looking for moves back below here and moves back above here. It's really just that clear. So let's use the candles in the context for which and how they were meant to be used. But overall, we have I think, a pretty precise entry and stuff here. Right below this area, right back above this area. And holding, God, there's a lot of support right here. So these are definitely your areas to be watching coming into tomorrow, rest of the week, who knows. Let's see where this pullback goes to. Does it drop, or does it just slowly wind sideways to kind of back down? That's what we're looking at. Are we, in other words, are we going to get this type of emotion? Or over here, this kind of emotion? Or this kind of emotion? Which way is it going to go? What are we going to see? We don't know yet. Wait for those breaks, guys, especially for those of you that are more patient and do have a little bit more patience within the markets. Just go ahead and wait for the more major breaks. Then take your entries. Save your money. Okay, the VIX was up. The market was down. Yeah, okay. So we're back above that 19 level. That's what you want to see if you're more bearish on the markets. But overall, I don't know. One day, yeah, okay. Let's give credit where credit's due. The VIX was up. People a little bit more of a panic today. Back into that 19 area. I like to, if I'm bearish, from a bear side, I like to see this above the 19 area, period. We're there. This is a weekly, so I'm not going to worry about the weekly, but overall, we are back above 19 for at least a day. Is it going to last? It's anybody's guess. It's something to watch coming into the middle of the week. For sure, though, we want to see if this thing's going to give us a bounce and give us some sort of indication on whether or not the market participants are really starting to get a little bit more skittish about the market yet again. Okay, Apple 60-minute. We got a nice push up and above these overhead resistance areas right into that 353, 354 area. We talked about those, and then it just did not hold. Finally dropping by the end of the day. Coming into the daily, you can see what we're seeing here, and this is, maybe a dark cloud cover or something to that effect, getting awful close to what could be a potential reversal candle, which we've seen on a lot of different charts right now. But yeah, there's no indication here, guys. Your lower levels are still pretty simple. Right back here into the 345 to 347 level. Pretty good support sitting down here in waiting. And then above us, I still like 353, 354, 350, yeah. I still like the areas of 353, 354 to the upside, again, on Apple. From a weekly to, see it just wandering sideways, but it's Monday, won't talk about that quite yet. FAS, also hitting this overhead 30 mark. Remember we talked about entries? Look at this. I think it's about as clear as it can get, guys. Once again, the financials wandering their way sideways and making it very quick for me to run through them with this kind of motion. Holding the 30 area today, looking at it on a daily, you can see also held the 20-day moving average, so still looking for pushes back above 30 and back below 29 for your entries long and short. Below 28 for the more aggressive, but yeah, 30 and 29 are really my entries here. We're just wandering sideways very slowly in a big trading range here. So that puts FAZ where? Okay, well, bouncing off this lower support that we have. Look how nicely this line is holding up into this line, back down into this line again, pushing its way back. I love it when these lines work that pretty. It makes trading so much easier. But no real entries one way or the other. Looking at it from a daily, you can see we're still stuck. Kind of at around this line coming down and at around this line going up. This line's doing a pretty good job so far for at least 2 days in holding this lower position. Can we get it? Can we get the financials to show a little bit of weakness? If that happens, this line here could act as very, very strong support, giving us pushes to the upside. But nothing's broken. Above 43, below 40. There's your entry. Nothing's changed. So look for those. If you guys like FAS and FAZ, be patient. This is not one to just go, I think it might do this, and then jump in and get your hand slapped and lose a bunch of money. It's not how the professionals do it. We don't just go, I don't know. I think if I roll a 7, we'll go long. If I roll a 6 or under, I'll go short. There's a complete strategy that goes into trading the markets. And when you're not as well equipped as the guy next to you, you're at a distinct disadvantage because you don't trade against the guy next to you. You trade against the entire world. And people are paid a lot of money to sit in their high towers and trade the markets and get money from people like you. If someone's making money, someone's losing money, and they don't care if they take money from you. That's their job. Their job is to take money from the amateurs. So know what you're doing. Get the education. Once again, it pays for itself. Absolutely pays for itself. Okay, quick rundown. One more time, I do this on Sundays and Mondays of the trades I did last week with my subscribers that I have now taken off of the list. ATI was a trade to the long side. You can see it's starting to pull back here a little bit, but we made a little bit of money to the upside last week on this one. That was a long play. A little bit. I certainly didn't make anybody a millionaire on this trade or any of the trades I had last week. A lot of them were very, very stagnant, but we still, making money's a whole lot better than losing money. So CHKP was another one where we caught a nice breakout here and we're able to make a little bit of money on this one. Up into this overhead resistance area today, kind of holding tight, but this one came off the list as well. So good pushes up and above this area gave us entries for the long side. We did make a little bit of money on that one as well. MA was one we played last week. We saw that one get kind of volatile today as it ran up and down, but it was really back above these areas here that we took some good entries above the 248-ish level and the 250-ish level were entries to the long side on MA. Made some pretty good money on that last week. It's okay money. It's only decent in my book. We just didn't see a lot of running. MAA didn't give us anything. Here's Thursday's candle. This big candle right here was Thursday's candle. I told people to stay out of it. At that point, I wasn't interested in it. We just weren't getting the motion and the movement I wanted from this. Still in not a bad place, so if you guys want to follow it, have at it. But really, we haven't seen much happen here. It's just wandering sideways. The plays I've got this week, I think, are a lot stronger. And that's what we did last week. So we had some winners. We had some went nowhere. We had some no entries. But overall, by the end of the week, we still, as usual, finished up for the week. Been pretty good about entries and exits and stops and the whole bit. And certainly not losing money, and if we do lose money, we don't lose that much. So it's been a very good last few months actually. So I've started doing this on Sunday and Monday. If you guys are curious about my track record or want to know what I've been doing, what I have not been doing, you can go back and look. Feel free to look. I'm not afraid to put on my winners and my losers. I will never tell you I'm perfect. You'll never get that from me. Nobody in this market is. If they say they are, turn around and run as fast as you can. They're a snake oil salesman. Nobody in this market is perfect. Period. That's not the way this job works. So there's just other strategies you've got to apply. So I'm not perfect, so I'll just give it to you, whatever it is, it is. I'm very much the truth just is what it is. I'm built that way. So you'll see my trades, whether they're good, bad, or sideways. I don't care. I'm going to show you guys what we do every week, and you guys can make a call for yourself on whether or not that would be of service to you. But it's certainly worth $1 a day. I will tell you that. Even if you don't trade anything I give you for a suggestion, just the information alone that I give to my subscribers is definitely worth $1 a day. All right, guys. So I'll be back with you again tomorrow, probably. This week might be touch and go. For those of you that can hang out, I'll tell you why. I have 5 new mouths to feed in my house. My dog had puppies last night. I was up all night birthing puppies. Woohoo! Welcome to the glamorous life of a stock trader. It certainly has its perks. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just a person like you guys are too. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. That's always my motto. If I can do this, you guys can do this. You just need the right tools. You need the right education to get it done. But yes, I was up all night birthing puppies. We had 5 adorable puppies. Um, and so I was very, very busy last night and have been most of the day now. So I'm running on zero sleep, but oh well, get over it. I'll be fine. So anyway, 5 new mouths to feed. Was very busy last night. Didn't get a whole lot of time to spend this morning on the markets, just taking care of the puppies and whatnot. But I'll try to get a picture up for you guys if you're interested. I'll throw a picture up maybe so you guys can see what they look like. They are absolutely adorable. All right, we'll talk to you guys. Maybe, like I said, it'll be touch and go with the dogs. I've just they're a handful right now, and so I'll always do videos for my subscribers, but the daily one might have to suffer a little bit this week. We'll just see what kind of time I get, and so maybe we'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll definitely see you Wednesday or so. Bye.